Okay, now I was going to start off this video by saying I've got a really interesting topic to talk about. However, I kind of noticed I start off every video like that, but this one is very, very interesting, and it's posing a lot of questions, and it also kind of supports something I said in my last video about is Battlefront 2's support coming to a close, and by that I don't mean in the next few months. I think it's still got quite a few months of support left, but overall it's going to be 3 years since launch this coming November. Are things coming to an end now? I'm just going to get to the point that's making people think this. A Twitter user posted this picture saying, remove the ability to buy crystal packs in-game for owners of the Celebration Edition. So we all know what the Celebration Edition is. It was released in December, and if you bought the Celebration Edition, you would unlock every skin, every victory pose, every emo, everything like that in the game, besides the limited time challenges like the Leia skin, for example, or the Farm Boy Luke skin. Ben Walk, our community manager, not for much longer, which is very sad, but Ben Walk replied with this: we like the unlocking through milestones and similar approach, plus we didn't want people with the Celebration Edition to accidentally buy crystals. So why is this such a big issue? Because a few people might be confused. Well, like I said, if you bought the Celebration Edition, you would unlock every skin, every victory pose, every emo, but that was only up to the Rise of Skywalker content. So anything after that, judging by the description, you wouldn't get for free. If you had the Celebration Edition, you'd have to buy it via crystals. So if they were to add, for example, like a Darth Maul skin, a hooded Darth Maul, and that came after the Rise of Skywalker content, so any point now, if you had the Celebration Edition, you'd still have to buy that with credits or crystals. You wouldn't unlock it for free. And I thought this was a very fair system. I still do. It's an unbelievable thing for any gaming company to do 2 years after the launch of a game, to just allow you to unlock everything for free like that. And I do think it's fair to say, alright, after this certain point you have to go back to buying these skins, and I'm absolutely fine with that. But now, if you have the Celebration Edition, you can't buy crystals. If you don't have it, that's fine, you can still buy crystals, which makes sense because there's still probably a lot for you guys to get, unless you're one of those players that has so many credits that you didn't even need to buy the Celebration Edition. But basically, if you're like me, I bought the Celebration Edition because it worked out a lot cheaper. I have much less time to play the game now, so I didn't have enough credits to buy all the skins for the Rise of Skywalker content. So someone like me now can't buy crystals, and this is worrying, because they wouldn't remove this ability only to add it back into the game. Let's be honest, this ability isn't coming back into the game. And then why have they done this? Well, Ben answers the questions because he likes the unlocking through milestones. Now, I've always said with Battlefront 2 that I think the reason we continue to get content to this day is because of the backlash at launch. It was horrific. It was like no game had ever seen before, and EA had a point to prove, so they allowed DICE to keep supporting the game. They had to make themselves look good, which they did. But I was saying for a long time that I don't think financially they're earning anything off this game, because they don't add enough skins, and when they finally do add skins, everybody's built up enough credits for them. And that was something I could never get rid of in my head. Honestly, I never thought this game was going to get a significant audience back, even with the Clone Wars content, and I got proven completely wrong, I'll admit it. December of last year and January of this year as well, this game blew up. The Celebration Edition sold incredibly well, and Battlefront 2 is a real popular game right now. I actually hear people in real life talking about this, because I would only ever hear it online. I've actually had friends in real life mention this game in a positive way, and I've heard people talk about it. It's back on the map, and I was under the impression, especially after how good they said the Celebration Edition sold, I was under the impression that they were making money again and things were back on track. Maybe the Celebration Edition kind of messed it up in a way for them where nobody's got anything to buy anymore, but at the same time, if they hadn't made that Celebration Edition, this game wouldn't have put itself back on the map like it did. And I still say to this day, it had a great comeback, Battlefront 2, but only in December to January of this year. That's where the real comeback was. That's where the actual casual player started returning to this game. But now I worry, because are they making enough money? If they were, they wouldn't disable crystals like this. Now I get it, like I said, this game is going to be 3 years old in November, but I don't understand why, if a game is making money why you can't just keep supporting it for years upon years, because people want a Battlefront 3. Look, I think that's ridiculous. There's no point, because you'd have to add everything in it from this current game. It's like Battlefront 1, because they didn't add heroes and certain maps from Battlefront 1, people still want them in this game. So you'd make a new game, add everything that's in this game, have less time to add in actual new content, and what have you achieved really from that? Now, have EA and DICE fulfilled their promises? They have. The weapons have been delivered now, and that is the final promise fulfilled. They don't necessarily have to add Ahsoka Ventress or Coruscant or any of these things. Alright, the female hero promise hasn't been delivered, but at the same time that wasn't an official promotion, it was just something Dennis said on Twitter, and while that's official confirmation as well, it's not in writing an advertisement, is it? Now, I do truly fear, and this is something I said in my last video that I touched upon at the start of this video, but I said on Wednesday that it looks like they're balancing the content between all three eras and adding in things that pretty much should have been in since launch or should have been added a long time ago, and it does from a certain point of view look like they're wrapping things up with this game, which admittedly scares me because I love this game right now. Like I said, I have much less time to play it, so when I come into this game and there's so much for me to do, I just wish I could go back to the days where I had so much time to play it and just complete everything, but this game actually has something to work towards now. But from EA's point of view, they're in it for the money, they're in it for the reputation, like any company are. Like I've said with EA in the past, they're in it to an extent with those two things that maybe, especially the money part, that other companies maybe aren't. But they fulfill their promise. They've redeemed themselves from a certain point of view, maybe not with their other titles, but with Battlefront 2 they have. The players are on DICE's side at this point, and the main things that we've wanted have been delivered. Is their work done? Do they want to move on to the next game that's going to bring them in millions? Because that's what it's about for EA, I'm afraid. It's not about the happy players, it's for the millions of pounds they're going to earn. So we are still going to be getting skins. Look, I do think we're definitely going to get a Darth Maul skin. Vader could possibly get one, Palpatine as well, but they're going to be through milestones, which is just unfortunate because those credits are going to continue to build up. So let's see, I suppose, let's see where this goes, but they're not going to add the ability to buy crystals again because they've just removed it. They clearly added this in with a plan or knowing what the future holds. So this is the situation now. You can only buy crystals if you don't have the Celebration Edition. And future skins are just going to be in terms of milestones. Which, yeah, I am pretty unhappy about this. I really am. And I think things had to come to a close eventually. Not yet, like I said. But Battlefront 2 has done incredibly well, and it's had fantastic just under 2 years from really when the real content started being delivered, and it has been a wild ride, but I hope I've got this wrong, I really do, because this is, when I saw this, I don't read the patch notes, I don't read all the little things, but this got drawn to me by quite a few people, and it's just kind of depressing, to be honest, to know what this could mean for the game. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. Do be sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all next time.